Hey everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of NuStrength Sugar Babes. I've got Tania on the show today, and she's been in the program now, it'd be 16 weeks?
Yeah, about that.
About 16 weeks, yeah. And her and I were actually just having a discussion about what big booze hounds we were. And we get quite a lot of women. I think it's actually just really common in Australia, I think, for women to just drink a lot, binge drink, drink. It's actually I would say that 90% of the women that come into our program probably enjoy. I'd say it's just a cultural thing, but you've done really, really well in the program. Like we just discussed before, you've come in and you've gone, I want to make this change. I need to make this change, and you cut the drinking out. And how much weight have you lost?
So I've nearly lost 10 kilos in that.
That's amazing.
So yeah, I'm stoked.
Wow, that's so amazing.
Lose that much this early, and I was fine with not really losing that much, but it's just happened, and it's just working for me. But
I think though, like you've done, the thing is you've been consistent, and you've come in, you've cut the booze, you've been consistent with the nutrition, so like I'm not surprised that it has worked. So can you just tell the viewers what were the issues that you were having before you joined the program, and how they were affecting your life? So basically, why did you come and do the program?
Sure. Long story. I mean, my husband left when, probably 14, 15 years ago now. So I had a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. And so I pretty much single parented full time this whole time. And so, so my kids, I had the kids every weekend. And then after a certain amount of time, the father had them every second weekend, and that was it. But I did everything with them, all their sports, everything, all the decisions for them I made. So basically I had shit time for myself, and I guess I was one of these typical mums that never prioritised anything for herself. So and that has huge consequences on us women when we do that. And I think it's such a common thing that us women do to ourselves. And we think, well, we got to give, everything to the kids. We put them, I never bought myself, I live on a farm, I never bought myself gumboots. I had a lost property gumboots from our outdoor centre that we have. I never got a haircut. It was just incredible. And then my kids started riding competitively mounted games, and so of course then my life became busier. Now they're nearly 17 and 18 years old, so they're a bit older now, and so going through all their teenage years, every single weekend I was in a horse truck driving around New Zealand competing, and that was a commitment I made. And I was always very sporty. I was always very strong. I was in my late teens and early 20s before I had kids and that. And then, but just the stress of life and being single and, the commitment I made for my family, it just took its toll. And I mean, I'm nearly tearing up because it's been full on. And I think, and I tried all the diets, as everyone has. I was real into like a quick fix.
Weren't we all?
I tried the military diet. Have you heard of that, Kitty?
I actually haven't heard of that. I'm surprised.
Yeah, Google it, man. I lost it was probably just all water and toxins and shit like that anyway, but I lost 5 kilos in a week. And it was just eggs and grapefruit and it was but I was for everything I'd be like, okay, I've got Christmas coming up, so it would be like October and I've got 3 months. Okay, I've got to lose 10 kilos in 3 months or 15 kilos in 3 months. Even joining this program, when in early May, I was like, okay, I've got my trip to Belgium. My kids are competing for New Zealand at the World Champs. So I've got to lose, I've got about 20 kilos to lose in total. And so I was like, right, I'm going to lose 20 kilos in 3 months. And and that's what I was like. And then yeah, so I mean, I had lots of stuff going on. I mean, I would lose that 5 kilos, and then I would gain 10 kilos, lose 5 kilos. So every year, I reckon I was putting on another 5 kilos all the time. And I guess, yeah, I was just getting fatter and fatter and fatter, and more depressed. And yeah, it just started affecting my health. Like, I was prone to injury. You know, I kite surf, or I used to kite surf a lot, and very passionate about the beach and kite surfing, and competed a bit and stuff like that. And you know, being overweight and being depressed, it affects you socially. I mean, don't even want to go to the beach because I don't want to get in a wetsuit. I don't even want to go and see my girlfriends because they all look gorgeous. You know, I've got nothing to wear. You know, it was affecting me so much. And I always knew that my time was going to come. Like, my kids are going to get, you know, independent, and they both started getting their licenses. And all of a sudden, you know, I just saw that the light at the end of the tunnel was like massive. And all of a sudden I didn't have to drive them here and there. And so my life started changing. And then I knew it was my time. I mean, I remember the first time my son said to me, can I borrow the car? I've got band practice. And you know what? I turned around to him and said, no, I've got the gym. I've got a gym appointment. You know, I just had scheduled in the gym. I had never done that in like 15 years, that I'd ever prioritized myself, you know. And that was like, I actually thought about that. I was like, that was so what that did to me. And I actually just was able to state what I needed as a woman, you know. Sorry, I need a tissue.
No, go for it.
Yeah, so that's been, yeah, I mean, I've had a wonderful life. Like, and my kids are awesome. You know, they're in Europe right now, in Switzerland working, and I'm home alone, and I've got all this time. I have got no one to cook for.
Yeah,
I can just cook for myself, and I can go to the gym at 6 o'clock at night if I want. I don't have to be in the house for the kids, and I can start dating and meet a hot man one day soon, I hope. But yeah, I'm reading The Catch, Kitty.
Oh, it's so, just look, that book bought me crazy 30 days. You know, you've just got to really get in there and implement everything it says. But I think, like, so many women, like the mums, I don't have kids, but it's like they fill everyone else's cup before their own. And I think, you know, it's like when you do that and you don't ever invest in yourself or put any time into yourself, you just get resentful and you get tired and you get, you know, it's like but, you know, like, obviously I don't have kids, so I can't even, and especially being a single mum too, you know, like, you're just on your own. You're trying to look after them on your own. So you just have to do whatever you can to, you know, I guess sometimes survive, I guess.
Oh, dude. Yeah. And then, you know, you get home and, I mean, I never ate breakfast. And my first meal was often, you know, opening the bottle of champers when I got home from work. And
12 was always acceptable. You know, lunchtime.
Yeah. And when I'd work from home, I'd always be having a beside the computer, and that's what got me through. And then I'd smash a block of cheese, camembert cheese with some crackers, and that was...
You just eat shit.
That was my food for the day, yeah.
Oh, it's crazy. And yeah, wow. Well, it sounds like you really did need the program. So just to invest in yourself, I think, just to invest something in yourself. And but it's the same with all the mums. Like, they all say the same thing. They're like, so many years I've invested in everyone else and given to the kids and the partner if they've got one. And, you know, they just don't ever invest in themselves. So talk about, I guess, the results you've seen so far. So apart from the 10 kilos that you've lost.
Yeah. So I think that I was getting a lot of back pain and sciatic nerve pain, like all the way back down back to my legs. And I always felt like that was, you know, I've got to strengthen, you know, that, you know, everyone says, oh, you got weak core strength and all that, so, and weak glutes and that. So once I started this program, I thought, well, I'm just going to follow it religiously, like the, you know, I mean, I was quite overwhelmed when I started the program, and I always, and I trusted you guys, and I said, you know, I was going to just do it step by step as it all says, and that, and I mean, I didn't jump into certain things like others may have been able to do this, and this, and I had a few not negotiable things that I had to do, like nutrition and 3 times a week working out. And so when I started, that's, you know, all I did. I didn't eat oysters. I didn't, you know, and I even said to myself, I'm not going to do that shitty live thing that you have to do at the start. I told myself, nah, I'm not going to do, I don't want to play by the rules. I'll just do what I want to do, you know. And then I was like, shit, I'm forced. I have no choice. I'm going to get called out on this if I don't, you know. And so I ended up doing it. I want to delete it, or don't need. Hope no one searches it, but it's embarrassing because I hate live stuff. Anyway,
good on you for doing it. Good on you.
And so I had my 2 not negotiables. And that was, you know, and that's, I felt that those, and now I've slowly added in a few not negotiables. I added gelatin in my shakes, in my morning breakfast shake. I've made a shitload of liver pate, and I'm just loving it.
How yum is it? It's so yum. The pate, yeah. I love the pate.
And that was another thing. That was one thing I said I wouldn't do. So that's also added to that list. And then I added, we've got Clevedon Market down the road, and they've got Clevedon Coastal oysters. And now I'm going to add weekly fresh oysters to my diet. So I actually love them. They're really nice.
Next, you're going to tell me you're going to be doing daily lives in the Facebook page.
Oh shit, no. Yeah. So I've made all these things, change, you know, all these changes, and introduced them. And I can't do mushrooms, and I won't. That's
all right, as long as you just have carrots or bamboo shoots or mushrooms. Just have one of 3.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I don't have mushrooms.
Yeah.
Very often. I just eat the carrots.
I don't have too many problems with down there. So
with the pooing, that's good.
Nah. So and like, so then the training's been cool, because I used to work in a gym actually in my early 20s. So you know, I kind of got into it quite easily. And you know, I'm really competitive. So the group's been really cool. Like, I'm, you know, even though everyone's on their own journey, you know, I still look at
other people's videos.
Some people when they started and what level they were up to. And I was like, that was my goal. I want to get to recomposer by then. And that's just me, and that's how I guess that works for me. And
whatever feels you to just get it done. You know what I mean? Like, doesn't matter. You
know, I mean, I really want to do chin-ups, you know.
Yeah.
That's been a thing. And I think ages ago you were going to do a little mini competition, and that never happened. But I was like, that's so me.
I'm totally doing that. So are you getting that pain anymore?
So all the back pain is just about gone.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah, I'm actually feeling pretty amazing. Like, I've got a bit of a hip pain going on.
Yeah.
And if I don't do if my technique is incorrect, I do get lower back pain still. But so I'm working really hard at doing my deadlifts properly and that. But that's been, so that's all gone. I'm feeling my moods are just like, my kids really noticed when I started the program just how much happier I was. And I tell you what, one of the big things for me was being able to have conversations with my kids and my teenagers in the evenings, not under the influence of booze. Like, I could have meaningful conversations. I mean, you know, with teenagers, you're always talking to them about life stuff, and you're supporting them and you're challenging them, and you know, there's often some conflicting, some challenging conversations you have to have. But for me to actually be able to think straight and very clearly made such a difference in my parenting. It affected so many areas of my life. Just the fact that I wasn't taking that toxic, that poison in my life, and so yeah, that's been sort of the biggest changes. I think my mindset's been, I've no longer need a quick fix anymore. I am looking at Christmas now going, okay, Christmas, I want to be, here, but I'm actually okay with the long road, and I'm okay with, it taking a year to 2 years, because, I've got a long way to go. And sometimes I walk around in the gym really like confident, and and it's amazing how good you feel once you start, you notice the muscles, you notice the fat loss, and just the confidence you have in yourself is that's another big thing, is I'm a lot happier,
It's so good. I always love hearing stuff like this. And some of the main objections that we get from women who are thinking about joining the program, and there's 4. So the biggest one, and you're a single mother and you've got kids that play a very expensive sport.
Yes.
So one is money. They're like, I don't know whether I should invest the money into myself. Do you feel like you have gotten value for what you've invested into this?
Oh, wow. So when I had that first phone call with Craig at the end of April, I didn't even know what it was going to cost, but I knew I needed help. Like I knew it was my time, and I knew I was so desperate. Like, and I knew I couldn't do it by myself. It was with all the knowledge I'd had, or I thought I had, and all the, I used to hammer myself so much doing running and all sorts, and but I was at that place in my life where I was screwed. I was really screwed. I was at the dead end. And so when I finally had that call, and I knew it was going to be a huge investment, and then I was also up Craig, I also felt I needed to pay for 3 months in one block, because, and invest into it that way on my credit card, do it, and then I knew I would be fully committed. Yeah. And that was a real key for me, because even talking to Craig on the phone, I was like 10 seconds out from saying, I'll think about it and get back to you. And he had a look on his face that said to me, I'm not going to hear from you again. And I also knew in my heart I wouldn't make that contact again. And so I quickly had that. Yeah. I said, yeah. I ran out, got my credit card, and I was like, oh, it's the best investment. Like, I've never once worried about the investment of it, of what it's cost me, because I know the value for it is just life-changing. And, I'm not drinking anymore, so I'm just going, well, all that money that I would have been drinking, that's just paid for this course. And it's for my health, and it's for me, and it's my time, and it's amazing.
And the second one, you'd also be able to, definitely speak from experience here, but women go, I don't have time, Kitty. I'm too busy. I've got kids. You're single mom. Your kids play sport. You're traveling. What would you say to a woman who said, I don't have time?
Oh, that's a hard one, Kitty, because that was my big thing with my kids. And I didn't think I could. And so maybe ask me that in a year. I don't know. But I really believe that. And well, I guess it's going back to that thing of we're not making ourselves priority. We're not prioritizing that time. And I mean, I think with my kids, they were teenagers. I could have gone to the gym. I could have I could have eaten different. I could have, changed some things. So I probably did have the time, but I was in such a hole that it was just so hard to get out of, but I don't know. I think to make time, you've got to believe that you are number one. You've got to your mindset has to change. Time will come from when you believe that you are priority. And when you believe that about yourself I think everything will flow. You then can start to implement some change in your life. But when I think that's the first step. I think, if you are always there for everyone else and that is your number one, then that's your problem first. I don't know.
No, I totally agree with that. And we were discussing that before. And I think mums really do that. They fill everyone else's cup before they fill their own, and then they get tired and resentful and exhausted. So no, I totally agree with that. And the last one is, and you're obviously not based in Brisbane, and the majority of our clients aren't, or we don't even live in Brisbane anymore, they're on the Gold Coast, but the whole program is online. And some women are worried about doing this online, like the support, the structure, how would you comment, what would you say about the program and the structure and the delivery, it being online?
Well, I think it's fairly straightforward. And there's so much support though. This is a thing. There's Lexi that can answer any question when it comes to technology.
Our tech unicorn.
Yeah.
That's what we call her.
And she's great. And you often get a response from her anytime as well. So Lexi might need to look at putting some things in place as well to look after herself. But I think the Facebook group's been a real, even though I don't post much on Facebook and I keep quite quiet, but I think that's been one of the biggest, not motivators, but
it's the community.
That community. You see all these real people struggling, or having encouraging everyone. I kind of read. You can get a bit overwhelmed and to keep up to date with all the stuff on social media and the Slack group. But I think it's really cool. Like I've started to just one night every evening go through my Slack stuff because I had 3 weeks of catching up to do, and now I'm up to date. But I think it's such an important factor in the success of this program is the community and the online community, and so I think it's a real necessity to it being successful for an individual, and everyone's experiences on it can help, and you don't know what what that person just did by helping that other person by it's certainly, there's been times where I've read things and I'm like, oh, that's what they're going through, or and that's what it's just helped in so many areas. And even all the food questions is most of the time when I've had a question, I've either searched for it, the word brownie, and up pops all the brownie conversations and the recipes and things like that. So it's without it, I think and the fact that you guys are so actively, you're real people, you have conversations with, you're so accessible, and I don't think there's any other program like it. I haven't spent a lot of money on programs and that, but I don't think there would be any, the things I have looked at, they just take your money, give you a heap of information, and give you a gym program, and that's all. You can't contact them, don't even know who they are. They don't care who you are, but you guys actually genuinely care. You actually care for our success. You thrive on it, and it's so special, Kitty. Yeah.
We do really care, and it really hurt. It hurt. Like, I get so invested in everyone, and I'm like, it really, like, sometimes I think, oh, you just have to let people go, Kitty, but it's really hard because you just want to go to them. Come on, like, I know that you can do this. Just push through because you'll never regret it. You know, like, but people have to be willing and open to change. Like, you were ready, you know, because I think if you're not, because at the end of the day, the only person that can save you is you.
Yeah.
Like, we can coach you, we can guide you, the rest of the women in the group can support you, but you've got to be the one, you know, just chipping. And it doesn't have to be, you know, like our motto, show up every day. Just show up, do 1%.
Yeah.
You know, like, you're going to fall off the wagon, you're going to fail. Like, that's normal. I fail every day. But the difference is that I just keep getting back up and I go again.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what's the alternative? Go back to drinking 10 bottles of wine a week like we just talked about. Which I did on the weekend, and now I'm just like, this is why I don't drink. You know, a good little fucking slap in the face, Kitty, a reminder as to why you don't drink anymore. But and finally, if a woman was sitting on the fence and she was skeptical and she's like, I don't know whether I should do this, what advice would you give her?
Well, I think you have to know what you want, and you can't. You know, I mean, opportunities come to us every day. And, you know, you have to know, how much longer do I want to be feeling like this? How much longer am I prepared to be fat, overweight, an alcoholic, depressed, you know? Just take it, just do it. You know, the time is now. You know, and I think as soon as you can get your head around to making that commitment, you know, it's just so much, life just is so much better. And, you know, I mean, I just would recommend this program to everyone in the world. Like, I just, it's hard to even, you know, talk about it with some people, because everyone is so,
they're so conditioned to the rest of the fitness industry. It's that's what it is, though.
Yeah. And I don't know, I would, you know, there's little things, I always say little things that you know, I'm doing, and they're interested, you know, but I don't harp on about it. You know, I just want to see the result, let the results speak for themselves, and, you know, maybe in a year they'll ask me again, you know, what is it I'm doing? But take the time for yourself.
Invest in
the
yourself.
Best thing I could say.
You'll never regret it. You'll never regret it.
No.
Thanks so much. Thanks for taking the time out today. And if you're a woman and you're watching this, and you know, you're like us, and you're probably hitting the piss a bit hard, or used to, I should say, and you're feeling shit, and you know, you want to feel better and train and eat good food, just click on the link and pop in a short application, and we'll get on the phone and we'll actually see if the program's a good fit for you, because we don't want to work with everyone, because we get really invested in our clients. So we just want to work with the women who actually want to genuinely make change, and who are going to fail forward and play the long game, because you have to. Otherwise, if you continue to do 12-week challenges, you'll be trapped for the rest of your life. So thank you so much, Tania. And I'm super pumped to see what you can do in the next, 6 months, where you can get.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, me too. Yeah. Watch the space.
Yeah. We'll do another one of these in 6 months.
Okay, maybe.
All right. Well, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the group.
Cool.
Bye.
See you. Bye.